Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Football Manager 2021 as we continue our Journeyman Glory Hunter series with Amiens in France. We are in February. I did play a few more games in January than I'm not sure if I intended or just expected. We had some cup games in there, so I just went ahead and jumped all the way to February. But we did have a couple interesting results, one against LOSC and one against Paris SG. Interesting, not necessarily winning, but interesting. So let's just jump right into the episode. All right, here we are in the episode. And by the way, you guys may have already noticed, seeing as the first thing you saw, I did get my camera all set back up and finally showing off some of my stuff behind me instead of a green screen. We're gonna try this out, see if this looks any better. Hopefully it shows off some of my personality a little bit better, but if you like this kind of thing, like seeing more of this, like seeing the investment in the channel, because I do have new lights, new camera, new microphone, all that kind of stuff, please like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. It really means a lot to me to let me know that you guys do appreciate watching these videos, and gives me the incentive to keep making them. So, but as far as the episode and the progress that we've made, as you can see, I think the last game you guys saw was up here, maybe OL and FC Nantes, however you say that. I think that's the game you guys saw, because I think I came back in OL because we were actually leading in this game early, and then we came back and lost very, very, very late in that game. They were at the time #1 in the league, which was still a really good result, all things considered. And then we went up against FC Nantes, lost to them 2-0. I think this is the one you guys saw as well. Brest, we drew 0-0. Very boring. Really nothing else to say about that. Home game, 0-0. I mean, what are you going to do? We then up against Strasbourg, and they beat us 3-2 with a pretty late goal, 85th minute goal from Brian Angulo. We had a pair of goals from Shadrach Okolo, playing outstanding for him, some outstanding play from him. I thought we were going to be able to hold on and get the draw. Unfortunately, they did get that win late. Very disappointing. We then went up against OGC Nice, right? That would be Nice, right? Nice is nice. Nice is Nice. And we lost to this one. Actually, we lost pretty early. We went down 2-1 early in the game and just could never bring anything back in the second half. In fact, nobody scored anything in the second half. Pretty boring in the second half of the game. But, I mean, I don't know. It's a home game. We should have at least drawn this game, in my opinion. If we can ignore the friendly, that was just something in the January, window. And then we went up in the French Cup 9th round against FC Dieppe. We completely blew them away. 5 goals overall, although one of them appears to have been an own goal from one of their players. But we did get a goal from Oristanio, a goal from Haji, a goal from Okolo. Actually, sorry, 2 goals from Oristanio, so good stuff there. Our LOSC game, this is one of those ones that I said was a little bit interesting, because LOSC is like currently 5th or 6th in the league, and really a much better team than we are overall, for sure. And the fact that we drew them away, I was like, man, maybe after a pair of, maybe not important wins, but still wins nonetheless, and drawing against them, maybe things are starting to turn around a little bit. I was like, this is actually pretty good. We got a goal from Oristanio in this game as well. But unfortunately, as you can see, next 2 games were losses, although we did only lose in penalties to FC Metz. We did take them to penalties at the very least, which, FC Metz is in the league below us, but they're a team that we went up against last season a few times. They're 7th in the league below us, so they're honestly not that far behind us in the grand scheme of things. Still a game we should have won, but what you going to do? It is what it is. And then we went up against Paris SG. And again, I said interesting results. I feel like only losing by 1 point to Paris SG is an interesting result. I mean, for all intents and purposes, we could have drawn this game at the very least, and they got a late. They actually got 2 late goals. We were winning this game until the 85th minute. Now, we went up in the 84th minute, and they immediately responded and got their goal in the 85th. But, of course, you get a guy like Mbappe. Giving him a penalty in the 10th minute is not a good way to set the tone against Paris SG. Had we not given away that penalty, very easily could have been a draw in this game. In fact, again, a late draw. They scored in the 85th and 90th. I mean, I was pretty proud of the boys for how they played in this game. Would have been amazing to get some points off of this, but I think we at least showed some what was the word, gumption, I guess you could say, going up against Paris SG. And I was going to say, you can't say that they weren't playing some of their better players. They do have Mbappe there. So, I mean, arguably or unarguably the best player in the world. I feel like I think he gets the award every time the news comes around during the transfer windows and stuff like that. He gets the Player of the Year award all the time. So I don't know a lot about football/soccer. I know that Mbappe is a really good player, so I at least know that much. But yeah, so good stuff from him. Would have been good to get some result, but was not meant to be. We have a couple of winnable games today. We have a game against OM and a game against Angers SCO. Again, a pair of winnable games. Are we going to win them? I don't know. I think we should. If we want to stay in this league, we definitely should. As far as we did go through the transfer window, I don't think we had any transfers, if I remember right, because we didn't have any money. I'm wrong. Oh, that's right. Sorry, it's been a couple days since my last recording. I've been very busy lately. I forgot. Yes, we actually did get some transfers in. Now, these are complete, as you can see, free transfers. I got a bunch of free transfers in. Why did I get a bunch of free transfers in? Well, I was trying to get some younger guys, some guys to fill in some rotation spots, stuff like that, because we were getting a lot of injuries. I was like, you know what? I have a little bit of wiggle room in the budget. Let's go ahead and use that little bit of wiggle room in the budget. In fact, I think I might have. Yep, I'm right at the line on the budget. And actually made a little bit more money in the transfer budget overall. But we had a little bit of wiggle room in the budget. So it's like, you know what? Let's go pick up some free players. They're not necessarily the greatest players by any stretch of the imagination. We can check them out here in a moment. But the point is that we're getting a lot of injuries, and we just needed players to rotate in for those injuries. We've got the slots in the roster. Let's go ahead and take advantage of that. As you can see, actually, one of them we did go ahead and loan out for now. And we'll go through those, like I said. Let's go ahead and start through Jay Singa. He comes in, 2-star current ability, 2.5-star potential. Again, relatively young, 22 years old. Not going to be the most amazing player in the world, but he's another midfielder who's not going to be terrible if we just had to rotate somebody in. If we got down to his level, well, then the only other option if we didn't have him would be to go to like our underage players, stuff like that, which those guys are probably a lot of times 1.5-star, 1-star players that have potential, probably more potential than this guy does. But I felt like he was going to be a little bit better. Just bring somebody in. We're not paying him a tons of money, and see if we can get just somebody to rotate on some injuries and stuff like that. We got Eric Kier. He comes in 2.5-star current, 2.5-star potential. He's a little bit older, but he can play on either wing. That's going to give us a little bit of flexibility. He can play striker reasonably well. He could technically be retrained to be midfielder, but 28 years old, we're probably not going to bother retraining him. We're paying him quite a bit more money just because I felt like he was at least a little bit better of a player. In fact, if I remember right, I think our scouts were saying he was a 3-star player, which is part of the reason why I went after him and paid him a bit more money, because I was willing to do that for someone who was, again, at the time rating at least 3 stars. I mean, he played once for us, or once already. I don't know if that was for us. I can see. Did he play with us? Oh, he played for our underage team. 7.10. I mean, that's nothing to be, whatever. It's our underage team, not underage team. This is actually our SC2 team. 6.95 in Brazil first division last year. So, or actually this year so far. Actually, I think theirs must be different cycle. They must go from like January to December instead of like April, May or something like that or I guess it would be for June to April, May or whatever. So I think there's a slightly offset, but anyway, so he has played a full season for them, 37 games. That's definitely a full season. 6.95, 6.92, 7.01. He's definitely played well in the Brazil first division. And obviously Brazil is not a nothing country. That's a pretty good country. So anyway, we'll see what he can do for us. Again, another rotation player. We're bringing in Felipe here, 2.5-star current, 2.5-star potential, play all over the place. Again, another Brazilian that can cover some injury spots for us. That was the point there. Alexander comes in. We did already go ahead and loan him out. 2-star current ability. I can't remember what his potential is. What potential? 20 years old. I think his potential was like 3.5 stars or something like that. Does it show us here? What am I looking for? Oh, 4. Yeah. Okay. 3-star, potentially as high as 4 stars. So this is a guy that we could groom into somebody that could turn it, to something. That's the reason we wanted to go loan him out. Because if he's going to be coming on as a rotation injury reserve player, he wasn't going to get a lot of game time for us. Loaning him out makes him turn into something that could turn into something long term. We got Wolfsteiner here, Werner Wolfsteiner. He comes in 1.5-star current, obviously not great, but he's got a little bit of potential. Again, just somebody else to kind of sit on the bench. No big deal. It's not going to hurt anything. Rotate around. It is what it is. And then we've got Skovgaard here. He comes in 2.5-star current, 2.5-star potential. Again, just somebody else. We didn't really have anybody else to rotate on the left-hand side, or at least our rotations were kind of getting a little bit weak. So we bring him in. I mean, he's a solid player. He's not an amazing player, but again, another rotation. So there you go. Lots of guys just bring on the bench. We had the space on the bench, not the bench, the roster, not necessarily on the bench, but at least on the roster. I mean, we can have can we have like 100 players or something like that? Crazy. Yeah, 99 players on our roster. So we've got the slots to fill, and we're not paying these guys a ton of money, at least most of them. We might as well fill the slots where we can, and that way we can have some places to cover for some injuries. And speaking of injuries, I mean, we got Okolo's got injury, Gomez has got an injury, Carroll coming back from an injury, Anthony is actually currently injured, or one of our best goalkeeper. No, this is not our best goalkeeper, is it? Yeah, I'm sorry, this is. Wow, my brain is not working today. My apologies. I've been reading lots of other stuff, watching a lot of other videos, and I'm forgetting who my own players are. So there you go. There's our squad. Like I said at the end of last episode, probably not going to be able to get a lot of players. This is probably the team that we're going to be playing with for the rest of the season. And this very much is going to be the team we're playing with for the rest of the season. But I was able, again, to pick up a few players that we can rotate in based off injuries, which we are having. So the team that we're going to play today is OM. I believe we're ready for that team. Let's go ahead and get into here. Tactical meeting. I don't show these very often. We can show off the tactical meeting. Who wants to increase defensive duties? Probably not going to mess with that. Work the ball into the box. I think that's already set up. We'll go ahead and set up some opposition instructions. Sounds good to me. Is this the squad we want to bring today? Borelli. Yeah, I think this is fine. And we're going to have to play our backup goalkeeper for now, again, because Anthony is injured. But I think that's going to be okay. Yeah, I mean, this looks fine. And make sure we have a decent backup striker on here. I mean, I'd rather have somebody besides Severio because he is currently injured. We don't really have anybody else. Do I have another striker I could bring on that could cover something for me? Went ahead and added on ability over here on the far right just so I can see who's at least mildly decent. How's Eric unregistered? Sure. Oh, you know what? I think what happened was I could only have 4 foreign players, and I ended up not being able to register him right now because I had some other foreign players in place. So I've got the 4 already. So he's actually currently not. We actually could use him today. Go figure. The guy that's not registered is the guy that actually probably could use. Oh, because Felipe, the other Brazilian, is injured at the moment. That's my problem. So I was like, I know I had another striker that I brought in. Do I have anybody striker-wise that I could bring in? More in here. Is that the best striker I got that's on the bench? Apparently so. All right, Morin, you're going to come in just because, well, I would rather have you than somebody who's currently injured because that's not really going to help us much. Okay, there we go. Let's go with this team. We got Parks, Pontet, Haji, and Broyar across the back. Bandinelli, Decour in the middle. Hurt Harris, Oristanio, Lagarbi, and of course, Borelli playing up front. Now, a couple of those games that you saw us with Oristanio with some goals, we had been playing in a couple times some other formations. We've been playing with a defensive midfielder on a couple formations, including those games against Paris SG and LOSC, which we played, again, relatively well, going up against a better team, playing a little bit more of a defensive mindset. And with these setups, I think we were playing Oristanio as the striker in some of those, especially I think Borelli might have gotten injured a couple times. So Oristanio did come in as a striker. That's how he scored some of those goals at those points. Not that he can't score from here, but we were able to use him as a striker in a couple spots. All right, let's go, guys. Submit team. Yeah, Morin, sure. We'll go ahead and auto number you. 33. Sounds good. All right, guys, come on. Let's get something going here. Nobody expects a result. Just go out there, enjoy playing without any pressure on you. Sure. Some people seem motivated by that type of response. Go figure. Oh, goodness. Hey, they're on a 3-game losing streak. So there's that, I guess. I mean, we're not any better, but they're not doing super great themselves. We're in our darker jerseys today, so it looks like OM's got the ball first here. Come on, guys. Ooh, oh, Pert Harris. I thought he had something there. Tooney, thankfully, is paying attention. Playing in his backup role here. Haji with the ball. Gets it over to Berard on the right-hand side, sorry. Decour with the ball. Over to Bandinelli in the middle. Come on, buddy. Show me what you got. Over to Parks, up to Pert Harris. Pert Harris trying to turn around, cutting towards the middle, cutting across the middle, actually. Coming over to this right-hand side, over to Lagarbi on the right-hand side now. Lagarbi's going to be able to get across in here. He's going to dance a little bit. Get over to Broyar. Broyar's going to try to get it inside. Unfortunately, nothing going there. Up to Oristanio, though. Oristanio, Bandinelli with... I thought he had to strike it there. Unfortunately, not going to happen. Good effort from the boys, but nothing to show for that one. All right, come on, guys. All right, free kick from OM here. Pontet gets his head in the way, thankfully. Borelli turning around. Gets it back to Bandinelli. Up to Pert Harris on the left-hand side. What's he going to do with it? Let's pause for a second. Get over to Bandinelli. Bandinelli's going to get it up to Lagarbi. Lagarbi's going to get it over, probably over here to the right-hand side to Berard. Yes, he is. Oristanio up to Bandinelli with a strike from outside the box. Actually, good stuff there. Second goal of the season from Bandinelli. Honestly, I think Berard could have cut even further up with that one. I mean, it was fine. Obviously, the net result, goal. But I actually think Berard, he had the pace. I think he could have cut past that defender and done something himself there. Come on, guys. Let's hold on to this lead here. OM is actually the team right ahead of us. If the result stands, that is. I didn't show that. I'm sorry. I forgot to show the current listings. Oh, guys. Well, you're about to see where we're at if this game didn't exist yet. Because we're drawing back up. Although I guess the draw is technically a point, but still. I think we're 15th, 16th, something like that, normally. Let me see. It hasn't updated yet. No update? There we go. Yeah, 15th. Okay, there we go. I think we're about 15th there. With technically less points than games played. Not a good ratio that we want to keep. We want to keep that flip the other way, hopefully. So hopefully picking up a result here will help us with that. But yeah, I mean, we're still outside of relegation, but just barely by 1 point. And a huge negative goal differential, -7, although not quite as bad as some of these guys down here at the bottom. We definitely have our work cut out for us to try and stay out of the relegation zones. But again, results like today would be something that would play into that a lot. So let's see if we can turn this thing around, guys. No reason we can't. Okay, free kick here from OM. Pushing the ball pretty easily themselves. Oh, come on. Don't get a penalty there, buddy. That was a very, very tight no call there. I agree. Wait, is he going to... No. No. It was no call. Don't go look at the... No. Okay, sure. No penalty. Good stuff. I'll take it. No penalty. All right, well, there's halftime. Pretty even on the XG. Pretty even. Obviously, exactly even on the score. We are doing a little bit more on the shot side of things, although considering our XG is not that much higher, tells me that we're not getting good shots. Hopefully we can turn that around a little bit more, but I do like the aggression from the boys so far. Happy with the performance so far. Let's keep it up. I am happy with the performance. But obviously I would prefer the 3 points to the 1. And that sounds like an obvious statement, but I just mean like this is a game that I definitely think is winnable. So pushing for those 3 points, I think is something that we want to try and do. Decor over to Lagarbi, over to Borelli. Borelli, turn around. Nope, he's going to get over to Oristanio. Gets it taken away from him. Pontet gets his head on that one, thankfully. Oristanio now with the ball over to Bandinelli. Bandinelli over to Pert Harris on the left-hand side. Pert Harris going to cut across the middle. Get over to Lagarbi. Lagarbi's going to try and get over to Berard on the right-hand side. Berard's got plenty of space here. He's going to be able to get a good cross, I hope. Gets it across to Pert Harris. Over the bar. Pert Harris. Not able to get that below the bar to get that goal. It was pretty well set up until the failure from Pert Harris, unfortunately. I really don't want to sub out Bandinelli. He's the guy that's playing the best right now. So... also a little tired. Honestly, Borelli's not playing well, but we don't really have a good striker to sub in for him either. I don't know who we want to bring around. You know what? Can we bring Oristanio up and bring Lefay in here? I think that will work. Or Tunjov. Tunjov's got a little bit better average rating, so he's been playing a little bit better. You know, let's bring Tunjov on. Put there and make a difference, my friend. We know Oristanio can play in that striker role. We've seen him do it. See what he can do today. Broyar throws it into Tunjov, over to Lagarbi, back to Decor. Or gets it across. Oh, or start. Terrible play from the goalkeeper. I mean, don't get me wrong. That was not us necessarily, other than the fact that I do appreciate Oristanio paying attention, watching the deflection come down, and just doing what he had to do. Terrible play from the goalkeeper. And Oristanio is just making him pay for that. You've got to do that. In games like this, close games like this, you've got to make them pay for every mistake they make. Because they're going to make us pay for them, that's for sure. Pert Harris, oh, with a good takeaway there. Tunjov with the ball up to Oristanio, back to Bandinelli. Bandinelli over to Pert Harris on the left-hand side. He's going to have a little bit of space. Going to close down pretty quickly, though. Bandinelli with the ball now. Gets it up to Oristanio. Oristanio back to Bandinelli. Up to Pert Harris. Over to Parks. Parks to passing the ball around like it's a clinic right now. Bandinelli back to Decor. Back to Bandinelli. Up to Oristanio. Oh, trying to go for something. Pert Harris with the ball now. He's going to get it over here to the left to Parks. Parks going to cut inside. What's he going to do with it? Going to get it over to Tunjov at the top. Nothing to go in there. Big deflection. Did that deflect off our own player? I couldn't tell. And here comes Lopez from the other team. Come. Oh, man. Just when we get a good score there. And honestly, we were playing well there. We had a lot of passing going on. You hate to see that a highlight that's like 80% us passing the ball around like it's a clinic, like I said, but then 20% them just cutting out on break and getting a goal. I mean, come on, guys. All right, we gotta do something else here. Oh, our center backs are not playing well at all. Bring Haji out. I mean, he's currently struggling with he can't really be very aggressive with the yellow card. We bring Skovgard in, huh? I'd rather bring Story in. Tried and true, proven. Throw in it from OM. Come on, guys. Win this, guys. Lopez with the ball. He's already beat us once. Thought he was going to beat us again. Should have, probably. Come on, guys. No pressure. Okay, they were happy with that. Good stuff. All right, last sub of the game. Here we go. Don't really want to sub both of my center backs, so we'll leave the other one in there for now. Who can we bring on? Maybe somebody with some more energy or something. We have Morin is the only guy that's got any sort of like, well, we can bring a midfielder on. We can bring Lefay on for midfield. Let's bring him on for core. Let's see what he can do. Throw in from OM here. Come on, guys. Let's get a good takeaway here. Let this be their highlight. Oh, Lopez getting past the defender. Oh, scary tackle there. Thankfully, did not go against us. But, yeah. Ooh, Story gets his foot in the way there. Up to Oristanio. Back to Bandinelli. Bandinelli over to Tunjov. Come on, guys. Let's make this break count. Tunjov. Although I say break. It's not really much of a break. It's slowed down a bit. Bandinelli back to Tunjov. Back to Bandinelli. Getting across the middle. Over to Lagarbi on the right-hand side. He's got overlap. Berard with the overlap on the right-hand side. Gonna be able to get a cross in here. Maybe. Pert Harris makes up for his over-the-bar shot earlier and make sure that one goes below the bar. Good stuff from Pert Harris. Now we just got to shut it down, guys. Now we just got to shut it down. We're going to go and drop it back to cautious. Really try and... I mean, I don't want to invite their pressure. I'm not going to go all the way back to defensive right now. But I do want to make sure we are just playing a little bit more with a mindset of defensiveness. Just to try and make sure that they don't get something crazy on us. We got a free kick here for OM. Come on, guys. There's only 4 minutes left. Oh, clear that one out. Nope, not far enough. Didn't mean to do that. Oh, guys, just when we got it. Oh, well. I mean, and we should have won. So disappointing. Should have won the game. Oh well, it is what it is, right, guys? I mean, what can you do? I mean, it's a point, but that's so disappointing. Wow. All right, we'll praise the boys just because they did do a good job of not losing to a team apparently the press thought we should have lost to, but not happy there at all. Not happy there. Okay, the next game up is definitely a winnable game. Absolutely winnable game. It is against Angers SCO, who currently 17th in the league. They are right here, right outside relegation, 2 slots below us. So I definitely think we should win this game. We'll be right back for the Angers SCO game. All right, we are back, ready for our next game. I just wanted to show you one thing. I did bring Eric and Felipe in right about the same time, and it turned out Felipe, I think, fits our mold a little bit better. He comes in and plays better as an inverted winger. And so overall, I just felt like he was going to be a better player for us. So we didn't really have a room to register Eric, and I think I mentioned foreign player. What it is actually restriction on non-EU players, and of course, being Brazilian, these two guys are both non-EU. So we decided to keep Felipe. I think he's going to be a good player for us, going to play well for us overall, at least as a substitute, if nothing else. And so we didn't really have any space for Eric. He wasn't happy about it already. So we decided to offer him out and ended up getting, 575,000 euros for him. So considering we kept him for not even a month, got him on a free, sold him for 575, not a bad piece of business. I mean, it's not like we suddenly just paid off the financial struggle we're in. Ugh. But we definitely helped our wage budget a little bit. Still got a little bit of money in the transfer budget. Cool. Works out. Also, another thing, while I'm jumping into the game here, we'll go ahead and jump to the tactics screen. Somebody had asked in the comments about why I haven't talked about staying with Amiens and building them up and trying to win the league with them and stuff like that. And truth be told, I am, playing as if that is the plan, but it would just be really hard for us to try and do that. I mean, it would just be almost impossible for us to win the league within a reasonable amount of time to still move on to the other leagues. We still got to win. We haven't even touched Germany. We haven't touched Italy, Spain, or England, so we've got a lot of work cut out for us. So do I think we could win with Amiens eventually? Sure. But what if it took us 8 years and then we only had a few years for the other ones? On average, with 20 years left to go, now that we're finally in the leagues, we've got to average 4 years per league. So we've got to get it done in 4 years. I don't know that Amiens can do it in 4 years. So that's the reason why we're playing like we're going to stay with them, but we're very much looking for another job because I just don't think it's going to be possible. In fact, if I go to look at, where is it? The development center that I can see the loans. I mean, look, here's the number of people I'm loaning out. I mean, these are all guys that have potential to play for us or play, whatever. And we're trying to develop these guys. We got a lot of guys out there trying to develop up, a lot of youngsters that we're trying to develop up for the long-term future of this club. But we're not putting all eggs in that basket because this would actually be our backup plan, not our primary plan. Our primary plan is to move on to another team. So that's the reason I haven't talked about it a lot. It's not like it's not possible that could happen, but that is definitely not the primary focus and primary desire here. So back into the team here. We got Anthony back, thankfully. Speaking of Anthony, people have been offering me as much as like 9 million euros for him. He's very, very popular. People want him. We just don't have any other goalkeeper that could take his place. So we're going to stick with Anthony as long as we can. We're denying all those for right now, although the board may eventually put one through on Forest because of our financial deficit, but we'll keep him as long as we can. Then we got Parks, Pontic, Story coming back in, Broyar on the right-hand side, Bandinelli, Decour in the middle, Kurt Harris, Oristanio, Lagarbi, and a Borelli up front. So I think the only changes were Anthony and Story from the last game. Well, let's jump into this. I realize this episode's getting a bit long, but that's partly because I had to talk through some of the transfer stuff. So all good, hopefully. This is absolutely a winnable game, guys. Absolutely. End our run of bad form right here, right now. Pick up 3 points. Let's go. That's a lot of draws. I mean, we don't want to see draws, guys. Come on. What's their form at right now? I mean, pretty similar form. We've got one more draw than they do, but other than that, almost identical form. Come on, guys. Let's go. 15th is not good enough. I mean, okay, technically 15th is plenty good enough. If we could end the season at 15th, I'd be happy because that means we avoided relegation. But Not ideal. Let's put it that way. Borelli early on. We're getting an early highlight here. First seconds of the game. Bandinelli with the ball now. What's going to do with it? Push it back to Story. Story all the way back to the goalkeeper. Really setting this one back up again. Over to Pontet on the left-hand side. Back over to Story. Core. Come on, guys. What's going? Berard. Up to Lagarbi. Garby. Doing, buddy. Back over to... Oh, Orstanio almost let that one slip past him. Bandinelli with the ball now. Gets it over to Orstanio. Up to Pert Harris. Pert Harris gets past the defender briefly. Gets tripped up. Is that going to be a penalty? That looked like a penalty. And that's not even just because it was against... You know, it was in my favor. But it looked like a pretty hard hit. Something tells me we do get a penalty here. Penalty awarded. Yep, that's what I figured. Looked like a pretty hard hit. All right, who's taking the penalty? Is it Borelli? I can't remember who takes our penalties. Yep, Borelli. There we go. Come on, Borelli. Oh, good one. That was a good, solid penalty right there. All right, let's keep it going. Keep up this momentum. Early score. Helps you get a lot of good early momentum, I think. Temporarily moves us up into 13th spot. Still not a lot of cushion between where we're at and the relegation spot. Decor gets his head on that one, only as far as the other team's player, though. Over to Cullen for the other team. Oristano gets in front of that one. Decor back over to Lagarbi. Lagarbi gonna run with it a little bit. Almost gets tripped up by the ref. Lagarbi going all the way over to the left-hand side. Really just running with the ball here. What's he doing? I mean, it's good play so far. Parks over to Oristano. Back to Parks. Back to Bandinelli. Parks almost gets tripped up. Gets it, lost it. Bandinelli up to Borelli. Pert Harris there. Tries to go for something. Parks again with the ball. Goodness, I can't say everyone's name. Oristano, Decor. Back to Bandinelli. Back to Pert Harris. Borelli. Pert Harris gets tripped up again. Is he going to pull another penalty? I mean, very similar play. And I don't think he's like, it did not look like he was throwing that. He legit got tripped up by the other team's player. I don't think he was flopping. That's the word I was looking for. I think this is a legit penalty. I think this goes. Oh, really? Okay. Fair enough. Looked pretty rough, though. Come on, guys. Free kick here for SCO. Push that one down. There we go. Arsenio getting on that one. Some space. He's got Borelli ahead for helping him. Borelli's gonna... Oh, I thought he was gonna punch with that defense. Oh, he does get past the defense, and he goes for goal. Borelli. There we go. That's what we need to see. We haven't seen a good goal from Borelli in a while. Good stuff, Borelli. Oh, well, other than the penalty shot, obviously. Good stuff. That's what we needed. Oh, right inside the post, too. Just so close. That guy's named Shankland. Shankland. Interesting name. Bandinelli over to Decor. Back to Story. Up to Lagarbi on the right-hand side. Last time Lagarbi had a ball like this, he just ran all over the field. Berard with the ball now. Lagarbi. Berard's another player that gets a lot of attention from people who want to transfer him in. Pert Harris. Oh, just barely over the bar. Hits the top of the bar. Bounces out of the way. Close. And all of our attack has been on the right-hand side here. All right, well, we're up 2-0 at halftime, and really just completely shutting them down. They have not done anything here. Happy. Let's go. Keep it up. Don't get complacent. 60-minute mark. Let's do our first sub here. Probably somebody who's a little bit fatigued. Everybody's playing relatively well. Content. I mean, we could sub him out because of his yellow card, but I'd rather bring one of these guys out that's a little bit tired. Pert Harris. Let's bring him out. I mean, I do want to get Kalala more game time overall. Just really trying to get him developed a bit. Let's go and do that. I'm actually a little surprised. We've given him a decent amount of game time. I'm surprised he hasn't developed a little better than he has. We probably just don't have very good training facilities overall. Do we have anybody for Lagarbi? We do not. We have somebody who can come in for Oristanio though. We'll bring LaFay in there. Broyar got his head on that one a little bit, but only as far as the other team's player. All the way across the field. Come on, guys. There we go. Pontet's going to get his head on that one. Bandinelli able to come up with that. There we go. Kalala with the ball now. Pushing the ball up. Get back to Bandinelli. Up to LaFay. Back to Bandinelli. Core. Really bad pass there. I don't know what that was. Ooh. Ben Sigger. Breaking with the ball pretty... Oh, good save by Anthony. There we go, buddy. That's why we don't want to let you go anytime soon, because you are a really good goalkeeper. Corner kick here. LaFay gets in on that one. Up to Borelli. Oh, no. Yes, Borelli's able to get that one. I thought for a second that he was slowing up. Bandinelli with the ball now. That's the end of that highlight. Go ahead and drop it down to a bit more balance. Do our last sub of the game. Bunch of guys are pretty tired. Let's see if we got anybody. Anybody coming for the midfield? Dinga could technically come in for somebody. Bring him on. Some fresh legs, if nothing else. Let's drop down to Costas. Just hold on to this game here at the end here. Love to keep the goose egg there. And we do. There we go. 2-0. Again, like I said, a team we should definitely be beating. And we did. Love to have gotten that last win as well. Picked up 6 points on the episode, but wasn't to be. But 4 points is not a bad day's work. Outstretched arms. Good job, boys. Well done. Well, there you go. Moves us up to the 13th spot. Really still close to this bottom spot here. Only 4 points separating us. Although, to be fair, only 10 points separating us from 6th spot. So this is a really tight league overall. About a little bit more than halfway through the season. Still a lot of game time to play. So which game will you guys see next? Not scouting, schedule. The other S. You guys can probably see something here in March. We're going to play a few games. We'll come back for AS Monaco, number 2, and AS Saint Etienne, 16th. So a non-winnable game. I was going to say, I was trying to be generous, but a game we're probably going to lose. But then again, we definitely should win. So hopefully we can pick up 3 points on this game. 4 points would be outstanding for this episode if we were able to do that, because that means we got to draw against the AS Monaco team. All right, well, there we go. We're going to put a cut in there. I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye.